is taught in the Book of Light. And this will be also the destiny of each being in manifestation. And these are the words of a being that we call Adam Katmon. And the Book of Light teaches that there is nothing but Adam Katmon, the body of Christ. In other words, the entire universe contains only one being. And that being is the universe. And we are members of the body of such being, and organs and so forth. Who can fathom it, may fathom it. Now the Book of Light teaches ancient Sansar Sanskrit was sacred, and change is corruption. We must say that. It's corruption. So Panini, from the highest point of view, was a corrupter of Sansar Sanskrit. The Book of Light presents Sanskrit as original as possible. So, corruption is the karma of Sanskrit. But it was a necessary corruption, in that Sanskrit had to be corrupted, in quotation marks, or rather adjusted in order to survive and become once again one language on earth until chain pralaya. That means until this earth chain disappears, or we could say the entire universe, but we will soon, or in a faraway future, have bodies that don't need to talk anymore. I just give that hint. But prior to that, we have to unite by language, because languages came only up when the spiritual races condensed, and they hide things and thoughts from each other. This was basically the reason for the different languages, as explained in detail in the Book of Light. Now, in the same way, the one knowledge now revealed in the Book of Light, reawakened, had to be corrupted in religions to now unite them again until they are not needed anymore. Glory to the Book of Light. So, already prior to Panini's Sanskrit was corrupted, and the Indo-Aryans then spoke mutually intelligible, non-standardized dialects. These were held in contempt by the elite of the day as a sign of rusticity and illiteracy. Compare that to language of ordinary people of today. Prakrit were considered, or Prakritis were considered as low levels. Now what this elite did not understand was that Prakriti also means root or basis. So they existed when Sanskrit was standardized. They already existed. Primary Prakritis, millions of years ago, were living languages. And when people like Panini fixed those Prakritis, or Prakrits, the living languages of the people became secondary, or Sauraseni. Now this gave birth to fossilization through grammarians, like Panini, to the tertiary Prakrits, Upper Brahmasas. So by 1000 AD, Sanskrit was not Sanskrit any longer. The Book of Light teaches manipulation of language leads to manipulation of people. Thus, the influence of grammarians, like Panini, on Sanskrit led to arbitrary feature of language in order to block social advancement, with the goal to put people or caste in their place and keep them there. This is bad karma. And completely wrong understanding, by the way, of karma and reincarnation. If I say that person is in low caste, a pariah or whatever, he belongs there because of his karma, I will reap the karma of non-compassion. I will be treated cruel as well. So that is how we learn life after life. And it can't be repeated often enough, dear friends. The influence of grammarians on the original language, as also revealed in the Book of Light, led to an arbitrary feature of language. And they did it in order to block social advancement, with the goal to put people in their place or caste system and keep them there. We have here some examples of English upper and lower class. As example, upper class says looking glass. Lower class said mirror. Upper class says have a bath. Lower class take a bath. Upper class says sick. Lower class ill. Upper class says rich, lower class wealthy. Now this rich is interesting enough. Verb root, you could say, of rich, to praise. Sanskrit, There are many connotations and combinations and similarities of Sanskrit. We find them in all languages, hidden in all languages. Then we have the upper class, wireless. Lower class has radio. So then, let us not be too harsh. Let us not call change of language corruption, but let's say an inevitable process and natural. Anything else would be a diglossia, which is when formal and ordinary language get further and further apart and then finally split. Now that will not happen. Sanskrit will unite them all. And then they'll disappear, having fulfilled their purpose. Sanskrit will unite all languages, and then they will disappear, having fulfilled their purpose. In the end, it will all lead to the true meaning of a word, and not what we made of it. Satyan nasti para dharma. There is no religion higher than truth. So this was an introduction to our Sanskrit lessons. And they will be soon on YouTube and also on PDF. You can download at no expense all volumes of the Book of Light on allreligionsunited.com.